Fairies in Saldo. Imagine if a battle occurred among fairies. This story speaks of a vicious battle of the enchanted beings who gave in to their arrogance and threw the balance of a town called Saldo.
Ow! You! Ugh! I never thought once in my life that I would hate my favorite season, but it's raining since forever now. Oh, you cannot be serious.
Meow.
Huh? Papa was going to repair the roof. What do we do now, Sony?
Meow.
As she looked out of her window, Melliot realized that this was the first time she was to approach her strange neighbors. Melliot was the daughter of Alexander. He was a humble man who loved his daughter and was very protective of her. As a child, Melliot always thought that her hill was very lonely. Alexander and Melliot were the only ones living on that hill. But just a few months after her father passed, Saldo was covered in rains. There was no sight of sun, and it is then that the tiny hut on the bottom of the hill had appeared overnight.
Huh?
But today, Melliot, wanting to repair the roof of her cottage, was forced to seek help. Melliot was outside their house as she saw three beings with heads of an owl come out. But rather than getting scared of these different-looking beings, Melliot smiled at them.
Hello, my name is Doc, and these are my brothers, Squill and Daughter. You are Alexander's daughter, Miss Melliot, aren't you? We are sorry to hear about your father.
You know we are neighbors. I am sure you knew that.
We are not letting her talk.
Oops, sorry.
That's all right. Thank you for inquiring about my father. I miss him.
Melliot was instantly at ease. She spoke to the owl beings with kindness. The owl beings looked at each other, surprised to see how confident and gentle she was.
My roof is leaking, and I don't know how to repair it. I have come here to seek your help. Will you help me?
They readily agreed and took out their tools, but it was Melliot who had to keep up the pace with them as they leaped ahead to her tiny cottage. As the owl beings were repairing the roof, Melliot was meticulously searching her tiny kitchen for some food to offer. Finally, she found one piece of bread, and without thinking, she broke it into 4 pieces, each for Sony, Daughter, Squill, and Doc.
She has no food for herself.
But you know that we have to eat.
The 3 owl beings ate the bread with all their hearts. Melliot was hungry herself, but she was satisfied knowing that Sony and her 3 helpers would not go to sleep on an empty stomach.
Sony, you think I must ask them to stay? I can give them my bed. After all, it's raining so bad. Maybe I can offer them to stay in the warehouse outside. Oh, Sony, you're always so great with advices.
Meow.
Melliot insisted for the owl beings to stay in the warehouse just outside the cottage. This gentle child had not only respectfully invited her neighbors, but had given them all the food she had and shelter for the night. They nodded and left to go to the warehouse. As Melliot went back to the kitchen, she was surprised to find 2 fresh pieces of bread on the table.
How did I miss this?
Melliot ate half a bread and preserved the rest for her guests. She was happy that now she had some food to offer for breakfast as well. As Melliot went outside to shut the door of her cottage, there was another surprise waiting for her. A basket of muslin thread and needle.
Maybe my helpers kept this here. They wear torn clothes. They probably want me to sew new clothes for them, but are too shy to ask. But Sony, we will help them, won't we? Just like they helped us.
Melliot stayed up the whole night making clothes out of the muslin thread. In the wee hours of the morning, she kept the dresses at the doorstep of the warehouse. The dresses had names of her helpers: Squill, Daughter, and Doc. Tired from the sewing, Melliot fell fast asleep. Little did she know that the Genie were waiting exactly for that.
Ugh! Why are the doors of this house so small?
Because that door is for the cat, genius.
Oh, all right. Ugh! Let's get to business, all right? Melia, you have done well. Now we will show you who we really are. Dream, honey, dream.
As Melliot woke up, she found herself in a strange land.
Welcome to the realm of the enchanted. We brought you here to tell you the story of fairies. Tell me, Melliot, do you know why this town is called Saldo? What? Wait, who are you?
How silly of us. I'm Teeny, and this is Teeny, and we want to talk about the 3 fairies you have sheltered. I wish we had more time, Melliot, but you will have to wake up soon, and...
Wait, Doc, Squill, and Daughter are fairies?
Teeny explained to Melliot that there were 2 types of fairies in Saldo. Sunnies, that is the fairies of the sun, and marshes, that is the fairies of waters, both of who now were at war.
War among the fairies? I have never heard of anything like that before. That's because it's never happened in Saldo before. Saldo means balance, which is what this town was all about. The Sunnies and the Marshes lived in balance with each other, but slowly their ego took over. Marshes think that the waterfalls and the puddles are the best thing that happened to the planet.
Whereas the Sunnies think that the sun is the best thing that ever happened.
But are they both important? That is what maintains the balance on not just this town, but the whole planet. Exactly! But they seem to have forgotten about it all. It is the balance our body and mind healthy. Imbalance leads to many unwise emotions, like ego, which is now spoiling the town of Saldo.
Why do you think we haven't seen the sun since months now? The marshes are blocking the sun.
Teeny and Genie explained why Daughter, Squill, and Doc looked the way they did.
It's the west wind. She was wandering in disguise of a majestic raven. Oh, she looked so beautiful. But Squill, Doc, and Daughter made fun of her. The queen got angry and cursed them, so that they looked different than others.
The curse was to break only if someone treated them gently with no ego and stitched them clothes out of sheer admiration. So, when we realized that you had invited them and fed them, the only thing there was for you to do was to sew them clothes with fairy muslin thread.
It was you who kept the basket at my doorstep.
Genie explained that not only Melliot's generosity could help, but as Daughter, Doc, and Squill liked Melliot, they could maybe listen to her and apologize to the west wind.
They must have received the clothes by now, and as soon as their curse breaks, the 3 Sunnies will chase west wind again. We could take you there right now.
Melliot nodded and was determined to restore the balance in Saldo. Genie and Teeny carried Melliot to the meadow where West Wind was captured by the 3 Sunnies.
Stop!
Melliot, what are you doing here? The west wind is dangerous. Genie, take her away.
You were the one who has kept her in a cage. She's not the one who was wrong here. I know you are the fairies of the sun, and I know that you have suffered, but you had laughed at her because she looked different. That wasn't right. No one is more important than the other. We all have our own role to play. She is right. Marshes and Sunny stopped playing their roles, and look what happened to this town. You and the West Wind are both important, and your balance is what keeps this planet healthy and happy.
Daughter, Doc, and Squill looked down, ashamed at their actions. Melliot bravely walked to the raven's cage, opened the door, setting the raven free. The raven transformed into the west wind and bowed to Melliot.
I have never experienced such kindness. You are right. We never realized our enmity was harming the planet.
This land has been drenched in rain since months now.
And we now see the damage our ego can cause. We apologize to the Queen and Meliot.
I command the marshes to unblock the sun.
The rains finally stopped, and the sun shone bright on the town of Saldo once again. Meliot was safely taken back to her home, where Sony was eagerly waiting for her.
Meow.
The Marshes and the Sunnies restored the balance in the town and vowed to never let their ego come in the way of their duty towards humans. But they always remembered the human who helped bridge the gap with her generosity and love.
Help! Help! Help!
Meow.